Let's start. The flow diagram will have these shapes that you see here, and we will use each shape according to its function or task. The first shape is used for the start, so here we start the flowchart or the diagram. We also use it for the end of the flowchart. This is the only task or function for this shape, so start or end. Here we will write start. This is the second shape that we will use. This is the parallelogram. We will write inside of it input customer ID and password. So this is where we put the message for the user to read. That means this shape is used to display messages for the user. Okay, now we will move to the checking process. So we need to check the following. Do customer ID and password records match? This shape is used to take an answer from the user and to check whether the answer is yes or no. So here we have choices, and each choice takes us to a different path. The question is, do customer ID and password records match? So, do they match the credentials that are at the bank? We have two choices, yes or no. And we will see what happens in each case. The first path is no, so they don't match. The second path is yes, so they match. If they match, the program will tell the user that the customer ID and password are correct. Now, the next shape will appear. Allow entry to program. The function of this shape is to send order or instructions. That means, since the customer ID and password are correct, allow the user to access their bank account. So the user will be able to access his or her bank account and to check all the details inside the program. The final symbol is end. In this flowchart, we were able to see the steps that the program is taking in order to check the customer ID and password of the user and to open the account. Okay, now what will happen if the customer ID and password don't match? The first thing is to output a message for the user. We already said that this symbol is used when we need to send a message to the user. So when we want to output something, output message informing user. That means we have to inform the user that there is a wrong username or password. This message will have an arrow go out from it and it will be directed towards start. Why? So that the initial screen can appear again to the user in order for him or her to re-enter the customer ID and password. Now we have finished flowcharts.